Snow White is another classic fairy tale full of magic, jealousy, and the triumph of good over evil. Here is the story. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a beautiful princess named Snow White lived with her stepmother, the evil queen. Snow White was so lovely and pure that her beauty shone like the sun. This made the evil queen, who was very vain, extremely jealous. Every day the queen would ask her magic mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You, O queen, are the fairest of them all." But one day the mirror answered differently, saying, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." Enraged with jealousy, the queen decided that Snow White must die. She ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. However, the huntsman, moved by Snow White's innocence and beauty, couldn't bring himself to harm her. Instead, he let her go and told her to run far away. Snow White fled deep into the forest, where she discovered a cozy little cottage. It belonged to 7 dwarfs who worked in the mountains as miners. When the dwarfs returned home, they found Snow White and took pity on her after hearing her story. They allowed her to stay with them, warning her to be cautious of her evil stepmother. Meanwhile, the evil queen discovered through her magic mirror that Snow White was still alive. Furious, she disguised herself as an old peddler woman and concocted a plan to kill Snow White herself. She visited the dwarf's cottage while they were away and offered Snow White a poisoned apple. Trusting the kind-looking old woman, Snow White took a bite and immediately fell into a deep, death-like sleep. When the dwarfs returned, they found Snow White lying lifeless. They were heartbroken and placed her in a glass coffin, mourning her day and night. Time passed, and one day, a prince who had heard stories of Snow White's beauty came to see her. Enchanted by her even in her deep sleep, he kissed her softly. Miraculously, the kiss broke the spell, and Snow White woke up. The prince and Snow White fell in love and soon married. The evil queen, upon learning that Snow White was still alive, was consumed by her own rage and jealousy, leading to her downfall. Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, surrounded by the love and friendship of the 7 dwarfs. Moral: beauty, kindness, and innocence will always triumph over envy and wickedness.